Hello everyone, welcome to Renee's Masterclass. I am Tarannum Khan, professional makeup artist. I'm here today to show you how I create a South Indian bridal look. So the first step, as everyone must have always told you, is skin prep. I cannot emphasize enough how important skin prep is for the longevity of your makeup, especially in case of a bridal makeup, because you will be doing the makeup and then it needs to last for a couple of hours. Indian weddings are a long affair, so we need to make sure our prep is fantastic so that the makeup is long lasting. What I'll be using, the first product is, it's called the Renée face gloss. It's amazing. It's got a beautiful highlight to it and a rose gold tint is what I am using. It has hyaluronic acid, which is a great anti-aging ingredient. So let's start with this. I'll take a few drops. And I'll start placing this on the high points of the face, where I want the highlight to be. Bridge of the nose, forehead, chin. So the placements are going to be on the high point, and now we'll start blending and massaging the product into the skin. Press it nicely, take your time. Let's move on to our next product, the Illuminating Primer. It's filled with all things nice for skin and vitamin E enriched. Anything vitamin E is always amazing. So I'm going to apply this with my fingers as well. The choice is yours. You can use brushes, fingers, whatever you're comfortable with. It's got a beautiful glow to it. Always start with little product, whether it's skincare, it's cosmetics, it's makeup, anything, just start with little. It's easier to build than take things off. Often I get asked as a professional makeup artist how to prevent the eye makeup from bleeding to the rest of the face. Your skincare, if you have taken your moisturizer, eye cream very close to your lash line, over time obviously your skin is going to secrete oil and your makeup will start bleeding out. So when you're doing your skincare, please bear in mind, don't go too close to your lash line. That's one sure way of keeping your makeup, eye makeup last longer. Now that the skin is done, let's move on to the lips, and Renee has got this beautiful product. It's called the pH stick. What's amazing is it hydrates your skin, perfect for lip prep. It will adjust its tone to your natural skin tone. Now that we're done with our skin prep, we'll start with foundation. I've got two beautiful colors here. These foundations by Renee, they are very pigmented, full coverage and matte finish. So I'm planning to use two different colors. This is called Cream Latte and Cappuccino. The reason I'm mixing two colors is because right now our model here, she's got a beautiful, I think, tan going on her face. She's got a little bit of undertone and her neck is a slightly different color. So it's nice to mix two different colors. There are times you end up mixing three different colors. Difficult to sometimes find a true match when you have tan and different skin tones going on. Always give your bottles a good shake before you pump it out. I like to work from the back of my hand. The heat from your body kind of activates the product better. I'm using this brush R7 and we've got this beautiful brush. This brush is definitely going in my professional kit. It's got nice angles and I think it's amazing to get into different contours of the face. It's large, so you can use for the larger areas. I'm excited to give it a try. It's an amazing brush for blending. You can stipple the product. It goes right into the contours of the nose, of the eyes. So that's amazing. Make sure your foundation application is always in the center of the face. Don't apply into the hairline because that gets very difficult to blend. So what I always like to do is apply towards the center and then with the brush, just blend it into the hairline. So that looks seamless. Never forget the ears if they're going to be exposed. Bear in mind that it's nice to take the foundation onto the neck as well, but don't go very heavy on it because then everything seems seamless. The skin kind of from forehead to your neck will start seeming one tone. So we're done with the foundation on the skin. As you can see, I've kept it very light because we don't want our bride to look like she's transformed into another human being. So that's lovely. This foundation actually helped us achieve that. And now let's move on to concealer. I'm going to be using the shade Maple. Again, you can use it directly, but as I said, I like to use it on the back of my hand. I'll go back to my brush, number 7, and start with the inner corner. I'm literally just going to apply on the inside corner. And don't worry, don't try and take the concealer right up into lash line, where any which way going to add kajal, there's going to be eyeshadows coming there. So don't try and take your concealer right into the waterline. Again, very little, and I'm just going to place it on the outside corner and lift it up. It gives a nice snatched look. You can use your fingers. Concealers need to go to any area that you need to brighten, wherever the natural shadows of your face kind of show up. We're trying basically to illuminate the center part of the face so that it looks nice and bright, and then later we'll go on with contouring that will take away the edges. Always remember to go near the cupid's bow as well, around the nose. Now I'm just doing some spot concealing. There's almost very little product left on my brush, but I'm just going to use that to dab. If you've done your foundation and you think after the application it is a lot and you want to take some of it back, that's also possible. We've got this amazing blender by Renee. It's a beautiful, nice, large blender. It will help press off the entire surface of the face. Whenever you use a beauty blender, make sure it's damp, and then you squeeze out all the water from it. If you use a dry blender, it was just going to soak in all your product. Now we'll move on to giving it a little more shape and contouring. Now all the cream products are used, let's just set it a little bit with powder. I'm going to be using Oil-Free Full Coverage Compact in shade Cashew Beige. I'm using brush R2. Always tap off the excess. Now that we've powdered her face, let's just add a little bit of contouring. Though she doesn't require too much, she's got a beautiful bone structure going on. Also remember guys, when you're doing makeup, always check the face first. Often I've seen, because we know the technique of how to contour, the products are available to us, we just want to go ahead and use it. Make sure your bride, your model actually needs it. If it's not needed, there's absolutely no need to use it. Less, as I said, is always more. We're trying to enhance her beauty and not transform her into another person. So I'm going to be using a compact again. This is called Walnut Beige. It's a darker tone. I'm going to be using that to contour her face. We'll use the same brush, R2. It's a beautiful brush. A little bit, tap onto the product, take off the excess, and we're just going to be placing it into the hollows of her cheek. And I think that's done. She's got a beautiful nose, so we don't really need to contour her nose. She's got a lovely jawline as well. I'm just going to enhance it ever so slightly. So again, very little. And I'm just brushing it off. I'm not really placing the product. I'm just brushing it off. Now that we're done with the contouring as well, let's move on to a little bit of blush. I just want you guys to notice, see the color of her lips. It's enhancing the natural color of her lip. It's the pH stick that we use in the beginning of the Masterclass, and I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's a great tool to have in your kit if you just want to go for the no makeup look. I think it's amazing. So let's move on to her cheeks. We've got a beautiful range of cheek tints here. I'm going to be using this product called Pandora Pink. It's a lip and cheek tint. Again, R2. I think this is soon becoming my very favorite brush. I'm just going to tap a little. It's very, very pigmented. So take a little bit of product and rub it at the back of your hand. I'm going to apply it on the apples of a cheek and just take it up. We just want it looking very nice and flushed. We don't want a streak of blush on the cheek. Onto the other side. There you go. I think it's looking lovely. What I'm going to do next is, there's again almost nothing left here, but I'm just going to wrap it around her nose so that everything looks seamless. Blending is extremely important. So anything that you use, any color cosmetic that you use on the face, on the eyes, just make sure it's all very seamless and blended and it all looks part of skin. Let's move on to the eye makeup now. I will start by priming her eyes with the same concealer that I used on her face earlier. I'll take a little bit on the back of my hand and my favorite R7 brush. We're just going to apply it all over her eyelid. We only want to even out the skin tone. You can see the difference between the two eyes. Repeat the same thing on the other side. So we are done with prepping her eyelids. Now we'll just go set it up a little bit with powder. I'll use the same compact that I used earlier. Very little. Now we'll move on with the eyeshadows, the color cosmetic. What I will do is I will first apply a transition shade to eyelids and then we'll build it from there. I'm going to use the Golden Hour eyeshadow palette. It has got 6 beautiful colors here and I'm planning to use the color Warm Beige as her transition tone. A little bit on a blending brush. This is R5. So the purpose of a transition color is basically to mark out for yourself that beyond this line of control, so to say, you won't really go beyond that with your eyeshadow. You don't have to worry about applying all over the lid. You could go all over the lid. You could apply your transition shade as your setting powder instead of the compact. It's totally your choice. I'm using the tip of the brush really. Eyeshadow applications, start slow, less, and then you can always build up. I think we've defined the crease line. Let's move on to the main color of eyeshadow. I'm using the Naughty Hour palette. It's got some beautiful colors and it has 2 matte shades. So I'm going to be using the pink tone matte shade for the main eyeshadow. I will again use the same fluffy brush and this I'm going to apply on her entire eyelid, but I won't go beyond the transition color that I've already applied. Just make sure your pink is nicely blended with your transition color. Whether you choose to use 1, 2, 3 or 4 different eyeshadow colors, just always make sure it's nicely blended and seamless. This eyeshadow has got a beautiful payoff. You can go deeper with it or you can keep it soft and subtle. If this was like a day brunch look, I would just leave it to that much so that it gives a nice fresh day look. But obviously because we're doing bridal look, I'm going to go slightly heavier. Always make sure that you step back and you check the balance of both the eyes. Sometimes when you're working very close to the face, it's easy to get distracted and you forget to check the shape and the color intensity. Now we will just add a little bit of intensity on the outer corner of her eyes and I'm going to be using this shade called Merlot. It's a beautiful deep plum tone. I'm going to be using this flat eyeshadow application brush. It's called R8 and I'll place it only on the outside corner of her eyes. You can blend it while you're doing the application. Just go in with a back and forth motion, but we're trying to stick to the V shape on the outside corner and then we'll use a blending brush and blend it upward and outward so that it gives an elongated look. So right now we've used 3 different colors. I'm just going to add a hint of shimmer on her eyes and I think from the same Golden Hour palette, there's a beautiful color called Pearl Glow. I'm going to be using this with my fingers. So this I'm just going to go right into the center of the lid and more towards the inside corner. And I'm just going to blend it ever so lightly. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful color payoff there. Now we can go ahead and do a slightly diffused eyeliner and then we'll go in with lashes. I'm going to be using the hard black kajal pen. I'm not using a liquid eyeliner on her because I want to blend the liner. It's got a nice color payoff. I've tried this earlier. So I'm going very close to her lash line first. Just pull the eyebrow up. It doesn't have to be a neat band of liner because we're going to be blending it out anyway. I'm going to be using the angular brush. It's called R10 and I will blend out the kajal now. So what we are actually doing is a slightly diffused eyeliner, like a smoked out eyeliner, and I'm pulling it outside on the outer corner. Now you can see the inside corner of the eye, it hasn't got the kajal. So I'm going to be using the brush and I'm going to take a little bit of the kajal on the brush. We need very little. Now I'm just going to repeat the kajal process on the lower lash line. Also, so far all the colors that I've used, including Merlot, which is the darkest of all, I haven't had any fallout yet. So which is amazing. Just make sure your kajal has rimmed the entire waterline right from the inside corner. Now I'm going to smoke out the kajal below. I will again take a little bit of Merlot on that same angular brush and I'm just going to place it right here on the outside corner and then I'm going to start blending it out. So you can see we're trying to keep some sort of shape here. Often when I'm doing brides, sometimes when you go with kohl in their eyes, the eyes start to get very sensitive and they start to water. Just stop. Ask your bride to actually take a couple of deep breaths from her mouth. That helps teary eyes. And just place a Q-tip on the inside corner of the eye. It will soak in all the tears. We're going to keep it more intense on the outside corner. So we have completed the kajal and the eyeliner. Now I'm going to just add a little bit of pop of shimmer on the inside corner of the eyes. I'm using the Fab 3-in-1 highlighter. It has got 3 gorgeous shades and I'm going ahead with the golden color. So it's amazing because it's a small compact stick and you get 3 different color options. You just push from under and you pick the color that you need. Now I'm going to be using, this is a cream product, so I'm going to be using golden color with a small detailing brush and I'm just going to place it on the inside corner of the eyes. There you go. It gives a beautiful, very small little pop on the inside corner, makes the eyes appear brighter. I think it's just lovely touch for a bridal look. Now that we've completed the eyeshadow, I think it's time we move on to our eyelashes. And we've got beautiful lashes here. It's called Kirsten Perfection. What's wonderful about these lashes is the band is pre-glued. So you don't have the hassle of applying the glue, waiting for it to go tacky and then struggling with it. Then the glue dries up sometimes and then you're just basically struggling. So we're going to go give this a try. So I'm just going to place the lash and see, check for the length, if the length is right. If at all it's too long, then we may need to cut a few strands. So you're not actually sticking it. I'm just keeping it here to check the length. And it is slightly long. So I'm going to cut and always remember to cut from the inside corner of the lash. In her case, I'm just going to cut off, I think, about 2-3 stubs of the lashes. You want to place it right on the lash line. Now I'm going to take my angular brush and I'm just going to push the lash in place so that it's secure. We're done with the lashes and as you can see, everything just suddenly looks very pretty once the lashes go on. The eyes are amped up, the face is looking gorgeous. Now all we have to do is some lips and maybe a little bit of highlight and then we're done with this look. We're going to be using this beautiful shade called Off or Mauve. You can apply directly with the wand. I prefer using my brush. So I'm just going to take a little bit on the back of my hand. Her lips are nicely hydrated with the pH stick that we used earlier. I'm just going to take a little bit on the flat lip brush. I think this shade is really going well with her lip and the sari that she's wearing. It's all looking very harmonious. Now that the lipstick is done, I'm just going to add a little bit of gloss for some extra dimension. This beautiful range of lip gloss called See Me Shine, and the shade is called Lady in Crystal. I'm just going to take a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and this I'm just going to apply center of a lip. It will give a beautiful pout. And the last finishing touch is the highlighter. How can we not have an Indian bride without wearing a highlighter? I'm going to be using the eyeshadow palette, beautiful color here. So I'm just going to take this on a small brush. We need very little of it. Tap off the excess, and I'm just going to place it on the high points of a cheek. I'm dusting very lightly. The color payoff is so beautiful. I'm going to use the same color, tip of the brush, under her brow bone. That's bride ready with her makeup fully done. I think she looks lovely. Renee has this gorgeous range of stick-on nails. If you're someone like me who's always struggling to grow her nails, this is exactly what you need. You get them in various different colors, various nail art stickers. So it's really something handy that you can keep with you, and it's nails on the go. So we're going to be trying the same on our bride here. So we've pulled out this color for our bride today because it's really going with her sari, her entire look. These are really easy to apply. It's pre-glued. There's a small little sticker. You just pull the sticker out and then you just place it, press it on, and done. Voila, you have beautiful long nails. That's exactly how simple it is. And there we have our completed look. You saw how easy it was to achieve this look with Renee Cosmetics. Very simple, elegant, gorgeous range of products. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And I will see you soon in another bridal episode. Thank you so much. This is Tarannum Khan signing off.